Hello and welcome back to Distant Worlds 2. We are continuing our playthrough as the Wekkarus here, and we are doing okay economically. We are in the positive. We have 54, it says 54 colonies, but some of those are outposts. If we look at outposts, we have 3 of those. Are any of these convertible to full-on planets? Doesn't look like it, but we don't have more talent to dump into there yet. There's a possibility there we could end up having it. All right, we can see some invasioning is still happening. We are ramping up our military. I'm fine with building this Megatron shield generator. All right, we're in the process of ramping up our military. We have Invasion Fleet 2 and 1 up and running, and Attack Fleet 1 up and running, although it's not fully our ships. And then research-wise, we are just hammering through some various techs that we're, kind of a little behind on. I'd like to get all these lab techs done, just to make other techs quicker. Speaking of which, I need to see, is there still an opportunity here for advanced research? 6 years is a bit long for that right now, so I'm gonna wait on doing that, but I will happily do automated cargo systems for 2 years and just try to do anything that increases the speed of ship construction or economy, anything along those lines. So we're doing okay. Let's look at new colonies, sort by suitability. Okay, we have these flagged. However, we're not actually building anything right now because all these are in enemy territory. So we're going to have to wait a hot minute on that. If we look at the victory conditions, we can see the Beskarians are still in charge, 49%. And that was a flip-flop from the Gazurians, which were creeping close to victory at 61 or 62% at their highest. And now they're 36%. And we are right behind them along with the Dayut. So we'll see kind of who asserts dominance. One thing that was kind of brought to my attention, and I've been ignoring it, is, we're reserving a lot of cash for these planetary buildings. And that is something that I can turn off, the automated building of colony stuff. I think that's under construction, maybe? I can't remember. Maybe it's under colonies. Well, wherever it is, I deliberately have not turned it off. Or here, advisors on automation. So colony facilities, terraforming, fighter bases, weapons, planetary shields, hyper denies. I mean, I debated for a while whether I should or shouldn't. The reality is I kind of need some of this stuff on these planets because when I go to war, like the bastions are going to really help defend my planets from enemy invasions, or at least buy me some time as they're being invaded. So I'm kind of tempted to leave them on, but I might reconsider that. Might even turn it off at some point, just to do a compare and contrast. Because the downside of this, sure, they're building all this, and that's great, but it's not leaving any funds available for me to use to do things I want to do, like build more ships, which is something I definitely need to consider doing relatively soon. The good news is we do have a couple invasion fleets up and running. They're going to run around loading up troops, which is what's really needed more than anything right now. And it takes time for that to happen. We can always churn out more attack ships and defense ships. It's the loading of troops that takes the longest amount of time. So that's still kind of churning away. Look at the resource. Okay, we are going ham here, building a lot of mining stations. Looks like there's some more opportunity for that as well. So let's take a look. Construction ships 40. It looks like not all of them, but a lot of them are in use. We do have enough, I think. There's 5, maybe 6 or 7 that are not doing anything right now. I feel like that's a good enough buffer to not necessarily have to do anything else. If we look at planetary exploration, we could see, we recently researched another tech that gave us more scanning power. And now all of our research ships are back at it, which is why we're seeing a lot more of these pop-ups happen now. Another spaceport up and running. Okay, it's done kind of building some buildings for the time being. I think I was waiting for the Slukin to become populated enough for me to... Or no, it wasn't that. It was the Hakonish, because I have Hakonish on some of my colonies now. All right, here's the Hakonish. We're not at maximum population yet. They're creeping up near 500 mil. Do I have the Slukin earmarked to get off this planet? No. I'm apparently having them stay, which is fine. It's just, I want to make sure I have enough runway for the Hakonish to hit 500 mil, because once they hit 500 mil, I can start colonizing entire planets with them, which means in this list of colonies, it'll automatically sort any planet that would be good for Hakonish. So we'd actually start seeing some of these swamp planets, I imagine, are good for Hakonish. We'd see them sort up towards the top of the list. But, we'll give it time. See what happens. All right, terraforming facilities. I might turn that off just because that is very expensive. Let's see, terraforming. Yeah, here, you could suggest it, but don't actually build anything. And every time we research a new tech, you have to rebuild it again. So I might just want to wait to get 2 or 3 techs deep before putting it on automation. All right, here we go. Some interceptors and strike fighters. That'll be good. Some nice upgrades there. I think these guys are just flying around and moving population back and forth. It will not colonize anything that's in enemy territory. So if I want those to become available to me, I need to start invading enemy planets. I really do want to ramp up and go after the Beskarians. 1, because they are currently number 1. And 2, because they're distracted right now in a war down here. And if I get up here and hop in, I think it would work to my favor. The biggest challenge I have with it right now is just we don't have enough ships. Right, I'm gonna set this as the home base of this and the home base of this. And then you guys will maybe home base over here. All right, we are seeing some new runes and stuff, so hopefully that means we're gonna be building more stuff. Where's this at? Is this near us? Kinda. More in enemy territory than my territory. Or are we actually destroying these Graveliks with my mining stations? I think we are. Nice. We'll actually be able to come here and... Oh, it's already building a research station here. Okay. There we go. Wiped another one out. We just got a couple more, and then we're free to build whatever here. All right, interceptors are done. Let's go ahead and redesign that. They assume what I just researched was the best option. It does appear to be that way. All right, sort by role. I assume this is the one I just found. Could be something else though. Yeah, it apparently this advanced interceptor has way more countermeasures and targeting and ship maneuvering down here, so I think it is actually this, even though the max size is smaller. But that's fine. We usually have empty space anyway. Can we even put energy collectors on here? I don't think we can. All right, advanced interceptor. We will obsolete the skip fighter. Be a decent upgrade for our fleet. Just gonna keep adding ships here until we get enough built up. I'm a little surprised that these guys aren't loading more troops. The Dusseldorf. You're garbage. We can get rid of you. Let me just bin them. All right, we see more colony ships becoming available, and that means we must have Hakonish. So let's go ahead and there's a whole slew of planets we could potentially colonize here. I don't know what we're doing here, why we're getting these. Must be scooping up broken down ships from the Hakonish empires. All right, we might like colonize one, and then it'll drain the Hakonish population down to a point where we can't colonize the others, and that could be pretty challenging. All right, critical research breakthrough. That's nice. That's a free accelerated research. Take a look at the private sector economy. 301,000. So it's churning along. Our cash flow for now is staying positive. We're going to take a little hit colonizing these planets, but it'll eventually catch up and we'll be. Let's see what we currently have going on here. You're establishing an outpost. Galactic Command Center here. Troop maintenance savings is kind of nice. All right, we just got a new bomber, and my assumption is it would be similar to that advanced bomber. What tech did we just research there? Strike bombers. Okay, so that is a strike bomber. This guy, is he better than the current bomber? Do we not have a bomber? I don't see any active bombers. Oh, the strike. Wait, we already had a strike bomber? Interesting. Well, whatever. We just got the tech. How could we already have a? Oh shit! Strike fighters. Haha. I was wrong. It was the fighters we just got. So is that better than the interceptor we just made? Not really. Worse maneuvering. I think we'll just leave it on that for now. All right, is there any other like scanning or anything I could do there? Probably need to do another round of weapon techs. I don't think we've done any of those in a little while. We need a little cash available for that though. All right, did we just stop building stuff? What's going on? I mean, if it's not in the green, we should probably build it, right? All right, everybody's pretty happy with us overall, except for the people that aren't. That's a decent amount of cash. Let's pause it and try to top up our fleet here. All right, I think I'm just about ready to declare some more. I know I don't have enough, but I'm still feeling like if we could just get in there, maybe we could snipe a planet or two before having to go to peace. Although I don't think they'll be very open to peace anytime in the immediate future. Maybe we should build up some defensive fleet, like smaller ones. Did I not click build? I definitely did. Did we just not have any cash? Okay. All right, large troop compartment version 2 is an in-place upgrade, which means all of our base just went up. Yeah, this was like 640,000, now it's 800,000. All right, Grasslands Moon is now ours. Took is probably the right population for this. Seems good. It's kind of questionably placed in the middle of like enemy territory, but that's okay. I need defense fleet. Here, let's just do this and then we'll top it up. I don't know why it won't build new. Maybe it just didn't have enough available. Defense fleet 1. We probably want something near to the border. Just because we know they're going to be aggressive. Let them move towards the home. Okay, there it goes back towards the home base. All right, Web of Destiny and Gazurians made peace. Vassal. Okay. We could work with that. All right, we are about to enter the Mega Labs tech, which is going to boost our production of certain different techs. Why are you RSV or not RSVPing, reserving funds for another? I mean, maybe we need that many colony ships. I thought we were. Yeah, these are all flagged. What are you doing here? Must be something on this planet. All right, let's churn out some weapon techs. I say as I immediately click onto non-weapon techs. I mean, that's 260 days. It feels like that would be a good option. Here, there. I got a weapon tech. That's good. All right, these guys are back to loading troops. I think once they're more filled up, maybe not completely filled, but more filled up, I'm going to go ahead and invade. I still don't know why we colonize this planet. It must be this Wekkarus meat. Maybe it's super rare just because it's got population growth. We're going to keep upping this defensive fleet. Try to get that decked out as much as possible. I do feel a little intimidated to go to war with one attack fleet, one defense fleet, and two partially filled invasion fleets. But I feel like we need to start somewhere, and engaging in combat is something that just needs to start happening. I mean, they have a lot of fleets, but our fleet power is higher than their individual fleets anyway. And I'm sure they've kind of run themselves out of fuel and kind of limping along. So I really honestly think I could take maybe a system or two here, get some Boskarans, maybe even more Talons in our Empire, which then I can back off. I mean, if I take these four, that would be my ideal goal. And then we can leave them alone. But just taking those four would get us more Talons, Boskarans, and Slukans in our empire, and that's going to open up the possibility of colonizing even more planets in our territory. All right, well, we know Wekkarus need to be the ones ultimately populating this planet, so we sort by planet type. There we go. We got proper Wekkarus on this planet. All right, there's defensive fleet, mostly decked out. Okay. So we just set up a mangrove forest planet to be Wekkarus and Camino only. And then all the rest are told to go away. The other thing I need to do, I think, tech-wise, probably need to make my troops stronger. So it's not just about the quantity of troops, it's about the strength of the troops. Oh, Web of Destiny declared war on Gazarian Nexus. The Deut going to war. Right, we're building engineering center. I think after that we're gonna churn out something else. I'll let the AI decide where to build those because I just don't want to mess with it. Regional governance is probably a good idea to get that queued up. The planetary metropolis will be helpful economically. And once we get some more cash on hand, we'll look at what our options are as far as troop strength. All right, we got a bunch of spies hard at work, attempting to steal a bunch of stuff. We'll see if they manage to succeed or not. Okay, we opened the first vault. Ah, we got an artifact. What did we get? I assume it's one of these. I mean, I'll take whatever. We have a lot of artifacts, like shockingly high number of artifacts. At some point, we probably need to do some more of these packs. Maybe I should queue them up because they're only 70. We can knock them out real quick. Make everybody a little bit happier. Okay. You know, we're still a little bit ahead. I'm just nervous about the amount of, or I should say the lack of troop power we have right now. My hope is that the strength gets better, but not a lot to invade planets with. I mean, like, this planet's got, figure we're going to lose at least a couple thousand troop strength by invading. This one's got 5,700. This one's got 2,000. This one's got 7,600. I mean, it's going to be a strong push to take these. I do have multiple techs queued up, but they're at the bottom of the list right now. Nope, wrong choice. We're going to have to do that again. It said we'd have to research it again, but then we didn't. Let's research Beskaren, just because if we end up taking them over, I'd rather them assimilate faster. I'm not going to mess with the couple hive ships that are still down here. My reputation's dropped a lot. I haven't really defended much at this point. All right, Hakonish are at least populating this planet, and they're breeding twice as fast, so... hopefully they'll eventually win out on the population front. I'm looking for pirates that might have spies, because I'd like to use some of my cash to buy my spies back if I can. I feel like there's got to be at least some. Maybe they're all with other empires. Well, there's a couple. Pretty expensive. There we go. We got a couple spies back. Another one at the Gazurian Marauders. We'll have to remember to go back to that. All right, I just got infantry 25% increased strength. We can see our power going up just a scooch. I do have some special forces and armor on here now. Well, one of each. Mostly infantry still, but I did manually queue up a ton of armor and special forces on Varlanar, hoping that ultimately it'd be more troops entering into the pool here. Looks like this is visible again, which means Hakonish must be repopulated to the point where they're at 500. I hope. Yeah, looks like they're 500 on this planet, so that's gonna make them available to scoop up. And what's interesting is we actually have earmarked to get off of this planet. And eventually we'll have enough Hakonish where that won't be a problem. But for now, we're still kind of juggling a little bit of that. Research-wise, I still have some more things I want to take care of, but we're definitely moving in the right direction here. Get some engine techs churned out here because they're cheap. Anything that's under a year, I think is probably worth spending the money, or like not money, but the time to relatively quickly churn it out. Defense tactics we probably want at some point, but for now, it is what it is. Logistics will be helpful because that's going to give us some maintenance savings on our troops. And then I think we're just going to keep moving forward with some of these techs here. Okay, I do think I am going to call it here for today. We didn't make a ton of progress. We did colonize several more planets, which is good, and we have a couple more still kind of queued up to colonize. So we should be able to get that relatively soon. But we are making some progress with these Hakonish kind of breeding grounds. These guys will be at 500 pretty soon. That's going to help fuel the colonization of these other planets relatively soon. And then my hope is that over time, this is going to be, we're going to get to like 70 colonies. And then while we're waiting for that to happen, these troops will get loaded up and will be positioned to start invading these planets here, which will be adding Boskarans and Mortalans and Slukin into our list of species that are available, and then we'll be able to start colonizing volcanic planets. I'm sorry, I said Slukin. I said it last time too. It's Shandar. Like I knew it. I'm like, that's the wrong name. But anyway, economically, if we take a quick gander, we could see the private cash flows up to 405,000. Their economy's still churning and burning. They are definitely building more freighters. So we're up to 27 large freighters, decent amount of medium freighters, small freighters. That's all really good. We're still expanding colony-wise. We got another artifact or just one, not two. We got another artifact this episode. We are still doing a lot of surveying, although more and more planets or systems are green now, which means that we're fully explored those areas, but not 100%. If we look at our Planet Shatterer, is getting close to completion. It's still not there yet, but it's getting closer. And then, of course, the old mining stations here. It looks like we still got several of these queued up. It looks like we're running just a little short on Aculon as we build these ships. Military-wise, we're at 260,000 fleet power, which is not a lot. We definitely need to expand and get more ships up and running. I do think I might build another attack fleet, because I do have some cash on hand, and that would be useful. And then if we look at everywhere else, it looks like we're doing pretty good. Passenger ships are, slinging people around. I did research several component upgrades, storage or cargo bays, passenger bays, troop bays, and then we're continuing to kind of advance upon that. Hopefully we'll be able to make some movement next episode. I think we're going to go for push to go to war next episode, but we'll see what happens. Victory condition wise, we could see they're actually down to 49%. The Boskarans, they were at 50% when we started. We've gone up just the slightest little bit, and the same with the Daewoo. They're kind of chasing right behind us. Gazurians, who used to be in the top, are actually falling to 4th place. So they're not riding the wave like they used to be. We'll see in the next episode where things go. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, see more content in the future, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.